Welcome to another episode here at Deep Mountain Security. Today I kind of want to show you guys how you can scan files and URLs and look up data on your own, regardless of what kind of an antivirus system you're running. So whether you're running a Windows system or a Linux system, if you have a file that you're worried might contain a virus, I just kind of want to show you guys a quick tool that I find useful when I want to scan something like that. So this is actually owned by Google. And it's called VirusTotal.com, and I'll post a link down below the video. But it's just really easy to upload a file, and it can be any file. So if I go and maybe take one of these crazy image burn things I did videos on a while back, and so let's upload that. It'll go through the hash and then kind of scan it. And what it uses a variety of antivirus software to test it. So you'll notice that you'll probably recognize a lot of different things. So here's the SHA-256 hash. If you've got file hash is the actual name of the file that I uploaded. Size, the date of the analysis or whatever. And there's a couple of other options here or whatever that you could do. But anyways, so you're going to probably recognize a few of these, like Avast, AVG, Avira, some of the other big ones, Komodo, Fortinet, Kaspersky, Malwarebytes, McAfee, Microsoft, Panda, Sentinel, Sophos, Trend Micro. So, you know, there's a bunch of stuff here that you guys can look at, and it looks like only one of them, so not everyone was able to process it, but you know, this one came back and said, oh, that might be unsafe. We can go to the details. That'll give me a couple of different versions of the hash. So if you guys saw my video the other day, I'm using get file hash inside Windows PowerShell. You could just upload it here and get it, but for larger files, PowerShell is probably going to be the easier one. And this is going to give you a little bit more in-depth a little bit more in-depth information on it. So you can see here's that's a long version. Different names that people have uploaded this file as, and they know it's the same file because it's based off of the file hash. Just it's got a different name. Anyways. So you'll have things like signatures if it's a signed file or something like that. Just tons and tons of stuff on here. Here's the metadata on the file. And so this is the kind of stuff, like if I went to the file itself and opened it up in the properties and went over to the details, this is the kind of data that you'll find right here. And you'll notice that this is going to be fairly similar. Actually, it should be pretty much the same. But anyways, so you're going to notice that this is the information it's got on the file and whatnot. So you can kind of go through a couple of just a couple of different tabs here with tons and tons of information. So you can see right here we've got some different things that it'll do when you run it. Some of the files that it'll open, some of the files that it'll write, some of the stuff it'll delete. So, you know, it's going to do a couple of different things. The DLLs that it's going to run. There's even a little sandbox thing that you can have some fun with if you can get it to work. That might be a paid feature. I don't know. But anyways, you guys kind of get the idea. This is just a really good way to discover if something is good or not. So, you know, we can go back and try uploading something else. Maybe this random 7-zip file that I had for another video I did the other day. And you're going to notice that right off the bat, some places will say, oh, it's clean, and other places are going to be, oh, we've got a couple of different threats and stuff like that. And because that particular file actually contains some stuff to test for viruses, you know, it might get flagged by a couple of things. But you'll notice that some of these are not very common as it is in terms of who installs those on their system. We can kind of go through some other information here. And yeah, so kind of interesting. And you can do this for all kinds of stuff. You can also do other things like scanning a URL, for example. So if we had a URL, say, I don't know, google.com or something, we can go ahead and scan it, and everybody's going to report it as clean, which is fantastic. So, yeah, this is kind of funny. But anyway, so you can see what other people in the community has, you can see what the community says about it. And so, like, I mean, obviously, like, google.com, it is safe. This is probably, like, trolls and other people like that. But anyways, so you can do this for particular websites. You know, if you have a website that looks like it might be sketchy or not sure if you should trust it or not, you can kind of go in here and see what other people have to say about it. It can be useful. You can also look up something via URL, IP address, domains, file hashes, all kinds of stuff. This is really useful for if you're wanting doing a more in-depth scan or analysis on a file that you got off of a website and maybe IP addresses associated with that website. So this right here, you could combine a bunch of different videos that I've put together in the past. You know, you could to kind of do some more in-depth research on a particular site. So say you had a piece of software that you wanted to download and you weren't sure about the site. You know, you could throw their site into some of the NS lookup, ping, trace route tools I've showed you how to use in a previous video, and you could discover that you might discover that they've got some more IP addresses than just a URL. So you could scan their URL, you could scan their IP address, you could look at their domain name, just kind of take a look and see if that. You could download the file, upload the file hash, upload the file itself, see what other people have said about it. And this is just a really easy tool that you can use for detecting viruses, trojans, other forms of malware, worms, etc. In files, and see if anybody else has perhaps had similar problems with it. And this might be a good idea to try and do if maybe you've installed something on your computer, now your computer's acting up and you're wondering, did that installer install something bad? Who knows? So go ahead and, throw it up here and see what it can handle. I actually don't know if there's a limit on the size of a file you can upload. That'd kind of be fun to find out. I don't know. No, okay, so there's a limit, 256 megabytes, but I might be able to hash that file, and from there we can go ahead and try and see if we can find out something about it. So if I get file hash, and then I'm going to do SHA-256, dash algorithm, SHA-256, and then path, let's do this Arch Linux here. That'll take a minute because it's half a gig in size, roughly. But then we can take this file hash right here, and we could do this with the MD5 or the SHA-256 or something like that. Copy that, go over here, click paste, and then see if it brings anything up. And it looks like it didn't bring anything up, so maybe we should try the MD5. I don't know. Just kind of have some fun and play around with this stuff. That's honestly the probably my favorite part of working in security, is the fact that I get to learn something new every single day and have fun while doing it. So if we go back to our search and paste and hit enter, no matches. So I probably wouldn't worry about that a whole lot right now because I can compare it with the website and it's probably fine. But anyways, so you can scan it, with your own stuff. Most of the time, depending on your system, you right-click on something and then you go down to like scan with your antivirus or anti-malware or whatever kind of a software you might have, and then it'll go through and scan it and run a custom scan or something like that, and it'll say, we found a threat or we didn't find a threat or whatever that might be, and then you can continue on with your day and have fun. But anyways, so this is just there's a lot of other tools I'll use as well from time to time. It kind of depends on what I'm doing, and I might be able to make some more videos on other tools. If you guys want to see tools like this, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to make some more videos on them if I have some time. But anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully someone can find this useful. If you're not sure if your own antivirus solution is actually doing an effective job at scanning something, then you can throw it into this and see if it can find it if the file's not too big. Otherwise, you can also use it for scanning sketchy URLs if you're going to something like I don't know, some weird domain that they have a shopping cart and asking for weird personal information. That might be sketchy. You could see if anybody said anything about it on here. If not, you might just want to avoid it and go with a more reputable site like, I don't know, Google or Amazon or somewhere. Not that I'm promoting them right now, but anyways, thank you all for watching. Hopefully this helps some of you out, and have a good night.